Hello. Today I'm going to talk about business strategy and operations strategy. In addition to that, I will be talking about productivity. Let's start with a business strategy. Business strategy, it's basically the long-term plans for your company, and it does impact your company because you need to know what's your mission, vision, and what's the goals that you will need to have in your company. And one of the things that when you create your business strategy, you have to align it and you have to match it with the three other strategies: marketing strategy, operations strategies, and finance strategy. These are the sub strategies that comes under the business strategy, but it does support these. Each one of these support the business strategy. Our goal here is the operations strategy. The operations strategy is the long term, but it is basically specific for operations planning and control. We need to look into the process of providing a service or producing a product, and we need to create a long-term plan for it. In addition to that, if you want to create a business strategy, you have to have three important parts of it. The first part is the mission, and the mission basically what's the goal for your company? Why do you consider this is a great company for you? The strength of your company. And I need you, when you create a company mission, a mission for any company, I need you guys to dream big, like the best company in the world. Just think about something like this and look into the missions of statements of other companies. You will see that this is what they are planning to be. This is what's the goal of them to be in the future. The second, when you create your business strategy, you have to look around and do what we call it environmental scanning. Environmental scanning is looking for different companies in the market and see what you could do better than them. And the best way for doing this is to do the SWOT analysis: the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat. You have to identify these in order to understand where is your position comparing to other competitors in the market. And the last one, the third, which is part of the business strategy, it's the core competencies, in which basically the company strength. What's the strength of your company? Can you tell me what's the strength? What make you different from other? There are so many strategies can be used in operations. In some of these strategies, I'm going to focus on four of these strategies, and what we call them the competitive priorities. These are the characteristic and the capabilities that will provide you with a competitive advantages over other competitors. So if you're looking into the competitive priorities, you will see there are four of these, and these could be a strategy for your company: cost, quality, time, and flexibility. Some companies, they decide to compete against the cost. They would like to provide the lowest cost as possible. And an example of this, the U.S. Postal Services. Walmart is another example. Quality, providing the best quality in the market. There are so many companies that provide. I would say maybe Apple could be considered as a quality, or they're using a quality strategy with innovation. Time, competitive, and this is a priority based on time. How long it will take you to offer the product, or you release the product to the market, or what we call the time to market, or on-time delivery. How often do you deliver on time? This is also another advantage. That's we could give an example on this. Would be FedEx, an example on the time strategy. They're using time strategy to compete other competitors. Flexibility. The variety, you could use the flexibility as a strategy by providing a wide variety of products in your company. Look into the Coca-Cola. They're providing so many products, so many drinks, so many things for customers. The second thing related to competitive and the core competitive advantages or priorities, you have to focus only on one competitive priority. And this is what we call the trade-off. The trade-off is the focus on one competitive priority over others, and this one, the best one that you think you will win the customers with it. And you have to be aware of the order qualifiers and the order winners. In order to qualify to enter a market, you have to have a minimum standards and to enter the market. In the winners is you have to exceed your competitors to have the customers buying your product. An example for this, just a simple example, in order to apply for a position, for a job, you have to have a 4-year degree. You will see thousands of people have a 4-year degree, but with the skills that you have, you differentiate yourself from others, and that would make you a winner. That will make you a winner for that position, and the company will hire you. This is just a small example on how you could differentiate the order qualifiers and the order winners in the market. Now we're going to move to productivity. Productivity is really important topic. And why is it important? Because there are so many things related to productivity, and we should measure productivity. It does matter. Productivity matters because it is linked to the higher standards of living. And also, if you have a high productive company, that means it will give you a competitive advantage over others in the marketplace. And the third point that I would like to say about productivity, why it does matter, because it would make you really hard to replace you from the market. There's no other foreign competitors will replace you from the market. So 3 reasons why productivity is important. 1, because we need higher standards of living. Every country they're surviving, they're looking into higher standard for their citizens. They're starving to have the higher standards of living. Then second, you need to have a competitive advantages over your competitors. And by having a more productive floor plan, you will have a competitive advantages over your competitors in the marketplace. And the last one, we don't need anybody to replace you. We need the company to have its share in the market, and we don't need anybody to replace you. So what is productivity? Productivity, it's a measure for the effective use of resources. How effectively I'm using my resources. We have a $1 million company. Are we using the $1 million effectively? So how are we going to calculate it? We're going to calculate it based on the output divided by the input. This is the equation for the productivity. Output divided by the input. And for example, if you are producing products with a $150,000 and your input you paid $42,000, that would give you a productivity of 3.5, which is good. Since you are having a positive productivity, that means very good and very interesting. There are other measures for productivity, like the partial measures, multi-factor measures also, and this is the most common. The multi-factor measure, it's basically the output divided by the labor, capital, and other input you think about it. And one thing that I'm going to share with you here, this graph, you will see that the productivity of the U.S. has been increased over the past 50 years, which is good, which is very good. This means we're gonna keep the high level living standards that we live in. We're gonna keep our location in the global market. There would be really hard for other foreign competitors to take our position. One last thing that I would like to talk about productivity, which is the productivity growth. And the productivity growth is related to comparing this year with the previous year. And you can calculate the productivity growth by having current productivity minus the previous productivity divided by previous productivity times 100%. That's all for today. Please read the material, the chapter that I posted, the PowerPoint slides, and after that, if you have any question, please let me know. Send me an email. I would be more than happy to work with you. I'd like to thank you guys. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.